What is the H3O plus concentration of a base with a pH of 12.39? And then second question, what is the pH of a 0.5 molar HCl? So these two questions are sort of opposites of one another. One formula, you'll take a pH and find a concentration, and in the other formula or other question, you're being asked to take a concentration and turn it into a pH. So these are two opposite functions. Unfortunately, these examples won't be that helpful to you because everyone's calculator is a little bit different, but we'll go over what formulas you use, at least in these cases. So when you're looking for a concentration and you're given a pH, you use the H3O plus equals 10 to the minus pH formula. Also note your book will sometimes call H plus instead of H3O plus. They're slightly different ideas, but and for these types of questions, they mean the same thing. You're just looking for the H plus or H3O plus concentration, so you can use those two interchangeably for these types of problems. So familiarize yourself with your calculator on how to plug in something like this, because everyone's calculator is slightly different, so please ask if you need it. But if we punch in 10 to the minus 12.39, we get a concentration of 4.07 times 10 to the minus 13 moles per liter. Note you need the unit here. Also note that the pH number 12.39 is actually pretty close to what your exponent should be when you're working out the molarity of the H3O plus or H plus. So let's go the other way now. Instead of giving a pH and asking for a concentration, this question gives you a concentration but asks you for a pH. And so in this case, you'll use the formula pH is minus log H3O plus or H plus concentration. I know it doesn't look the same, but minus log and 10 to the minus pH are opposite functions to one another in the same way that adding is the opposite of subtraction, or that division is the opposite of multiplying. So we're just going one way to the other, but either way, just make sure you know how to punch these into your calculator for this course. So when we put these in, minus 0.5. Note that if we write this in scientific notation, it would be 5 times 10 to the minus 1. So we expect a pretty low value here for our pH. And what we get is 0.301. And pH has no unit. So that's a pretty acidic solution here, very close to 0 on the pH scale, which is pretty low. Also note here too that I gave in this question, you're given the pH, or you're asked for the pH of a 0.5 molar HCl solution. So that's the concentration of the HCl, not the H plus or the H3O plus. Because HCl only has one H, then when that breaks apart in solution, it's going to only produce one H for every one HCl, and so you can assume the concentrations are the same. Had this question been what's the pH of a 0.5 molar H2SO4 acid, then you'd have to multiply the molarity of your acid by 2, since each one H2SO4 produces 2 H pluses. So just be careful with questions like that.